Okie dokie. Right. Okay. So, Tomorrow Never Dies. Although it was, I think, I believe it was going to be called Tomorrow Never Lies, which probably makes more sense because tomorrow, it's like that's what, that's the news, and the news doesn't lie. The media never lies. And yeah, this film, again, Pierce Brosnan's back. And it's got an interesting story about the media. Fake news. It's kind of interesting like that. The way the media has become like that, where it's like they have to be responsible with giving information to people, and it has to be the truth. It has to be the truth. If it's not the truth, then it's porky pies. But no, there's an interesting theme in this film that's there for everybody to go, oh, yes, that's interesting. But you can enjoy this film just as a straight up like action movie though. Again, like GoldenEye was great, but this film just goes like to a whole new level, to a whole new level of cool and just action and just action, 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 action. It's like non-stop, like frills and non-stop just stuff happening. And yeah, there is a plot, there is a story, but it's mostly just sort of like action scene after action scene, cool thing after cool thing. In this film, like this probably has one of the best car scenes of any of the James Bond films, and it's like a remote control car. That whole scene is really really fun. Although there's a bit where like when that scene ends and the car goes off the building, it crashes into like a shop or like a cafe or something. He could have killed some people. People could have died, like innocent civilians. So yeah, that's a bit strange. There's a great bike scene. They're handcuffed and they're on a bike. That's a great bit. And they jump out of that building. That's really cool. Overall, this is just a really really cool film. And he's flying a plane at the beginning. The song isn't that great. Like the opening song, it's not as good as Tina Turner. And also as well, like there is actually like a backup track. There's a song called Surrender, which was like the alternative song, which they play at the end with the credits. That could have been the main song, and that would have been a better song, to be honest with you, like to have at the beginning of the film. And so anyway, this film, I don't think it's as good as GoldenEye, but I do really, really like it. I do think that it is a good action movie, non-stop, like just adrenaline rush. It is definitely a rewatchable James Bond film. It's got a great villain. I think Jonathan Pryce is really really good as the villain. Although I heard apparently it was supposed to be Anthony Hopkins at one point, but there was some issue there with him not wanting to be a part of the film anymore. Or I think he signed on but then decided not to do it for reasons. I don't know why. But Jonathan Pryce is great. Jonathan Pryce. Jonathan Pryce. Ha!
Pathetic.
For the crime of piracy. That's a shit impression. It's got a great henchman. Mr. Stamper. He's like blonde or albino or whatever. But anyway, he's tall and scary. And he's, we die together, Mr. Bond. And actually, there is a scene that I really, really love where there's like this German guy, and he's like, I have a clear shot at your head, Mr. Bond. I am an expert marksman. At this range, I could not miss you. It's such a kind of strange, out of left field kind of performance for the film, because like most of the film is quite serious. It's quite sensible, really. But then until it gets to that bit, it's like, ah ha ha, mustache twirling villain. He comes from the mustache twirling villain shop. But yeah, I like that bit where he's just like, Stamper, why are you yelling in my ear, yeah? And then when he kills him, you're kind of a bit upset, to be honest with you. I get a bit upset when he dies. When James Bond gets gets the upper hand. And then it's just like, I am just a professional hired to do his job. And then he's just like, so am I. But no, I like that guy, and it's a shame he only just like was in it for like one scene, and then that's it. He's just dead. I have a clear shot. Yeah. I'm trying to do the impression, but I can't. It's just funny. But no, what else can I talk about? That I've forgotten her name, but she was in the Superman TV show, the Lois and Clark show. She's in it. She's great. She's only in it for a little bit. But yes, Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh. I really, really like Michelle Yeoh. She's great in this film. She's just a great actress, just in general. She's been in so many films, and she's always good. Even in that Star Trek show that she was in, she was pretty good in that. But yeah, she's pretty badass in this film. She's probably the most badass woman in all of James Bond, and she's believable as well. Like when she's killing people and kung fuing the shit out of people, like you actually are like, yeah, I believe she could do all of that. And again, it's not like because nowadays it's like, oh well, we've got to make the man look shitter than the woman to make the woman look great. But in this, it's like, no, we're just making her look great and making him look cool and great. She's matching him in a nice, cool way where it's not forced. It's not forced, and it's just yes. But yeah, there's lots of great action and stuff in this film. The car scene's great. I've already talked about that. The plane scene's cool. It's like a jet. It's a jet scene. Yeah, that's cool. Yes, actually, another thing I want to talk about is the gun, the PPK. In this movie, he gets an upgrade, or he swaps it, and I approve of this. I approve of this because the PPK. It's a nice looking gun. But yeah, it is just like a little. It's a little bit wimpy. You know what I mean? That I'll clip that Family Guy scene.
Hefty. Wimpy.
It's a little bit like it's like a gun for a little girl. I'm sorry, not being whatever, but they bring it back later. But in this film, James Bond picks up like a newer model. In fact, I've got a plastic gun somewhere. I'll quickly run up and get it. Oh, I legged it up there. So yeah, like this is it. This is the gun. P99. I think it's called a P99. But yeah, I really think that this gun looks cooler, and it looks more, it's like more of a brick. You know what a little girl's gun. Sorry to be sexist, but like, you know what I mean. The thing is about James Bond as well. Like, I know we're just talking about guns here, and you might think that it's not that important, but it is important because with obviously this new James Bond film that's coming out, and obviously with the whole Daniel Craig era, and with they want to try and like reinvent the wheel, or they want to try and add some new element to it, which is like, okay, we'll see how that turns out. That might be a bit risky, but like things like this, where it's just like updating the gun, I like that because it makes more sense, doesn't it? Like it makes more sense for a spy to be using the more up-to-date weaponry. You know what I mean? Like it's not. I'm not saying that PPK is not a good gun. I'm just saying like it's a bit obsolete, if you know what I mean. It's like it's better to get something new. So it's like if we're talking about how can we reinvent the James Bond, blah 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 blah. You don't reinvent James Bond. You just reinvent everything around him. So in a way, me talking about guns, I'm sort of making a sort of an analogy or metaphor or whatever. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I'm explaining it properly, but like, you know what I mean? Like, don't change James Bond, but you can change things around him. And things like changing the gun is a good example of what I'm happy with them changing. They do bring back the PPK though with the Daniel Craig era, which is very strange because he has it in Casino Royale. And I'm like, cool, they carried that over from the Pierce Brosnan era. Good, that makes sense. That's one thing to keep as well as Judi Dench. But then in Quantum of Solace, it's just like he's going around with this little girl's gun again. And it's like, why? 10 years later, and we've gone back. We've gone back to the old gun. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just straight up yapping about stuff. But I feel like if you're a true James Bond fan, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about here. Like, I'm talking about just, updating things, modernizing it, giving James Bond new gadgets and whatnot, but not changing James Bond. James Bond is always should always just be the same. Whether he's a different actor or not, he should just always be the same. So, in summary, that's what they do here with this film. James Bond's still James Bond, but everything around him is a little bit more up to date and a little bit more cooler and like a little bit more sleek and polished and whatnot. And there is a lot of style. There's a lot of style to this movie, and the tiny bit of substance, like with the whole media theme, the theme there with the media. That there's a good bit of substance there. Makes you think about stuff, Yeah, sort of a bit like in Captain America: Winter Soldier, that kind of thing. Yeah, and putting that into a Hollywood blockbuster movie, with lots of action and special effects and stuff. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna move on now, and we're gonna do World Is Not Enough, and yeah, goodbye. Thank you for watching. Cheers. Tomorrow Never Dies. It's not as good as GoldenEye, but it's a good, fun watch. It's an alright movie to watch. It's like, if you're going through all of them, it's like, yeah, here's the next one. Cool, great. Tomorrow Never Dies. Right, bye-bye.